Welcome to the world of group home riches, where you can achieve financial freedom while making a positive impact on society. Are you tired of working long hours for someone else? Do you dream of being your own boss and creating a better future for yourself and others? Look no further. With Group Home Riches, you can invest in real estate and provide a valuable service by offering safe and comfortable homes for individuals in need.
The number one investment in real estate.
And start building a better future for yourself and those around you. Let's make a difference together with Group Home Riches.
So, how does that work with the people that are getting the SSI? Because she did not want to do the third party payment.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you it sounds like you were smart and you avoided a grenade.
Yeah, and then she cussed me out so bad after I wouldn't do it.
Of course.
Yeah. So imagine if she was your tenant.
Because she was planning on scamming you. That's the other thing that's really good about this business. You get real good at figuring people out.
Yes. And needless to say, she was calling me back like 2 months afterwards because she still needed somewhere to go. But lady, you just cussed me out so bad about how I run my business.
Yeah, when people refuse to do that, it's basically they're telling you just gave them one of the house rules and they just let you know that they didn't want to follow that.
Exactly. So I didn't even want to deal with it at all because you did let me know that this was going to be a problem. But how do you so the third party payment is the only way to get around that with the people that has SSI and SSD, correct?
Correct.
Well, you can look. Okay. I mean, there's a few things. You can still get set up as the representative payee.
Oh,
so
yeah.
The money would be direct to you.
Okay.
But these people are they're smart, they're squirrely, they're sophisticated. So you get set up as the rep payee. The next thing you know, they go in and somehow they cancel it. So the money's coming direct to them onto their direct express card. Next thing you know, they're getting the money. They're pulling it out. They're going over to the drug dealer. The drug dealer is getting the money before you are. So again, you've got to be really smart about how you do things. And it sounds like you are. So you'll be fine. I mean, just you did
okay.
Good.
Well, the renter has taught me a whole bunch of lessons. I promise you, she did. Okay.
How much are you with this business model? How much are those properties doing? How well are they doing?
They're actually doing pretty good. The one property with the men, because that house is it's a lot bigger. That house brings us in like $3,500 a month. The other house is only it's 3 bedrooms down there, and that house brings us in roughly like 22.
Andy, just ballpark off the top of your head, how many rental properties would you need to have, and how much cash invested into those properties in order to cash flow that?
So you'd have to have a ton of them. So I mean, just like you said earlier, Brandon, you're lucky if you're making $200 a month on a rental property. And the reality is you're not going to make that. I mean, I got the one that I was just at. I mean, I should just send you over pictures right now, and you can just post them here. Why don't I do that? You want to do it on
Sure.
the webinar?
Yeah.
I mean, that way people know we're not screwing around.
If you can email them to me, I could pull them up.
Yeah.
Sweet. But Lakeisha, this is just how put yourself in the minds of investors and people with capital and people like that. Let's just say you cash flow 300. You would need at least 10 properties.
Yep.
And then
to bring in what the one is bringing in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then so you would have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars to even be able to invest in those properties, right?
Well, and that's the other thing that's kind of funny right now. I mean, everybody over the last 10 years was like, oh yeah, I'm making 6% on my money, for sake of argument. Like, dude, I mean, these people are toast right now. The interest rates on an investment property are 8-9% bare minimum. And here's the cool thing about group homes. It doesn't matter if interest rates are 8%, 9%, 10%, 12%, 15%. You're going to be making 30, 40, 50% on your money. So yeah, it's better if interest rates are 5% because you got a larger spread, but like you can withstand nearly anything with group homes. Like from an interest rate environment standpoint, you can withstand anything. So it's a beautiful, beautiful business.
I have a question, and it just goes back to the SSI, SSD. I did have one lady that wanted to come in with the SSI, but I did not accept her because it was a thing about being able to use the address as her permanent address. I know here in Michigan that if people use your address, it's considered establishing residency, and then you have to go through the court procedure. So like
Yes.
how does that work with the people that are getting the SSI? Because she did not want to do the third party payment
Yeah,
thing.
well, it sounds like you it sounds like you were smart and you avoided a grenade.
Yeah, because and then she cussed me out so bad after I wouldn't do it.
Of course. Yeah,
Yeah. So
of course,
imagine if he was your tenant.
because she was planning on scamming you. That's the other thing that's
Right.
really good about this business. You get real good at figuring people out.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And needless to say, she was calling me back like 2 months afterwards because she still needed somewhere to go.
Yep,
But like, lady, you just cussed me
exactly.
out so bad about how I run my business. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, when people refuse to do that, it's basically they're telling you, you just gave them one of the house rules and they just let you know that they didn't want to follow that.
exactly. So I didn't even want to deal with it at all because you did let me know that this was going to be a problem. But like, how do you get so the third party payment is the only way to get around that with the people that has SSI and SSD, correct?
Correct.
Well, you can look.
Okay.
I mean, there's a few things you can still get set up as the representative payee,
Oh
so
yeah.
the money would be direct to you.
Okay.
But these people are they're smart, they're squirrely, they're sophisticated. So you get set up as the rep payee. The next thing you know, they go in and somehow they cancel it, so the money's coming direct to them onto their
Yes.
direct express card. Next thing you know, they're getting the money, they're pulling it out, they're going over to the drug dealer. The drug dealer is getting the money before you are. So again, you got to be really smart about how you do things, and it sounds like you are. So you'll be fine. I mean, just you did good.
Okay. Well, the renter has taught me a whole bunch of lessons. I promise you she did. Okay. Okay.
Lakeisha, how are you doing on time?
I got maybe 10 minutes. No, I got
Okay.
9 minutes.
All right, perfect. So yeah, so we showed you the business plan, which is kind of like higher level and a little bit more sophisticated. And then if you go to this video, it's in the how to run a successful group home section. And the
Okay.
title is, we just titled it Working with Landlords. But
Okay.
for itself, it's like, finding investors. Everyone has the same questions. You're going to need to explain the basics of the business model. And we just told you, like, the biggest thing is the cash flow. Like this strategy is, if you were to show these investors like a P&L statement or tell them your cash on cash return, they're going to think that it's a scam. Because
Okay.
they would need to have like $500,000 of their own cash invested into properties to get the equivalent of what you're making on these two properties.
Gotcha. And the
Yeah.
good thing about one of the properties is one of them is completely paid off. The smaller property where the women are, that one is completely paid off. So I don't have a mortgage. I just have like, the yearly taxes on that house. So that is definitely a benefit. The house that the men are in, it does have a mortgage. It's like $600, which is not too bad. But I really want to pay that house off.
I mean, with that type
Well,
of cash flow, it won't take long.
let me throw one other thing out. The other beauty of this business is that depending on how much you're paying for these homes, oftentimes you can get them paid off in 3 to 5 years just with the cash
Okay.
flow.
That's coming in. Yeah, and that's what we're doing. We're just putting the extra money right now just to get this house paid off, and hopefully we can get it paid off in the next 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, where else can you pay off a house in 2 years?
Right, exactly.
It's unheard
of.
So,
Lakeisha, this video called "How to Work with Landlords." It'll kind
uh-huh.
of go over, how to find investors. We talk about, going to meetups, talk about what to say to them, etc. It applies to capital investors as well. So at these events, you'll run into people like Andy that are private capital, and they're looking for investors to work with.
Okay.
We go over like a sample quote unquote script or pitch, but all of it, if you just talk to people, the right people at these meetings, and tell them what you're doing, and just have a conversation like you had with me and Andy, over coffee or drinks or food or whatever they got going on, they're gonna be interested. I mean, Andy, imagine if you didn't know about this business, you were just doing rentals and flips and stuff like that, and Lakeisha walked up to you at a meeting and started telling you about what she was doing.
Oh, I'd love it. I mean, I would tell her, hey, here's some of my vacancies. Go out and check them out. Tell me which one you want.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
That would be awesome. So I'm gonna start I'm gonna start going to these events that you showed me. And hopefully things will, pick up for us.
Don't miss out. Your journey to success begins now. Are you ready to dive into the world of group home riches? Join our exclusive school group and connect with like-minded individuals who are just starting out.